Welcome to the CEO's blog for this week. We'll kick off with the highlights of the weekend. One thing I feature every week as we go forward is the number of different trainers, drivers and of course owners which are winning. Last week we had three different meetings where there were 8 out of 8. They were at Tamworth, Bathurst and Newcastle. But it was at the Penrith meeting where we saw Paul Fitzpatrick get a treble, and it was great to see that once again. Paul is always prepared a good team of horses. He's a living legend of Harold Park, and it's great to see Paul and Gavin pulling in those winners. What wasn't a highlight of the week was the spectacular fall that Ray White experienced at Wagga last Friday evening. Ray is currently in hospital in Wagga, and he suffered quite a few severe injuries. Broken ribs, punctured lung at one stage, collarbone, shoulder, you name it, Ray certainly suffered it. So we wish him all the best for a recovery and a speedy recovery as well. But he's a pretty strong old coot, and I'm sure we'll see Ray White back at the track as soon as he can possibly be there. Whilst the injury to Ray was pretty spectacular and pretty harmful, on a sad note, a great old champion of the track, I'm Blue Double D, passed away. Judy Frisbee took this horse off the track, took him to so many shows, and he was such a beautiful animal that he won at many of those places, and what a wonderful horse he was. Just goes to prove that harness racing horses, standardbreds, are good once they retire from racing. We know it, we just have to let the public know it, and it's there's some great work being done by the Rehoming Company, and I encourage, as things come out there, that owners, trainers, drivers, anyone in the industry takes note of what the Rehoming Company is doing to give these horses a longer, better life after racing. As we know, we all look after them, but let's give them another purpose. That be it in the show ring, be it as an equestrian horse, be it as anything, a standardbred can certainly do it. And just recently we had a horse almost get through to the full ranks of the police force. So keep an eye out. If you've got a horse, contact the Rehoming Company. There'll be more coming out on that, as I say, in the coming weeks. As expressed last week, the regional boundaries are coming down. We have a 3-stage approach through the month of June to where we get on July 1, there will be no boundaries. So keep an eye on that. But keep an eye on, we still have to keep those protocols up. We still have to have the social distancing. We still have to have the hygiene practices in place. And we still have to be compliant with all reporting to Harness Racing New South Wales and to the government. Very significantly, what is coming on to us very quickly is the fact that crowds will be allowed back on track. It's not a matter of just opening the gates or opening the doors, turning on the lights and crowds can come back. There are a lot of protocols that New South Wales Health make the track operators comply with. So be patient there. We certainly are looking at Menangle, Wagga and Bathurst and Penrith as a first instance. Already Penrith as a registered club are reopened, and so are Menangle for their country clubs. So bear with us, bear with the clubs, and we will have you back on track first up. And it's great to see that the clubs have put forward that it will be owners and their members who have first shot at whatever opportunities they are on track to get back there. So as I say, just be patient, it is coming. By July 1, we will fully be rolled out with crowds back on track, but we have an ambition of looking at next Wednesday at Bathurst as being the first time that we will have those people back. And to close the blog this week, just remember we have the review into the New South Wales Breeders' Challenge and the Trots New South Wales schemes. It closes next Tuesday, the 9th of June, so you've got one more week, these last few days, to take that opportunity. If you've got a thought on how we can do it better with the Breeders' Challenge, with the Trot New South Wales, put pen to paper and make a submission so the board can see what the industry thinks and can appreciate many great thoughts that we do get from our participants. So that's it for this week. I encourage you all, make that submission to the Breeders' Challenge, and I wish you all the best with your racing activities and life in general through this next week until we're back together again.